So for the last couple of years, we've all gotten pretty used to AI coding assistants, right? Those tools that suggest the next line of code. But what if I told you we're on the brink of a much, much bigger shift in how software gets made? Because what's coming next isn't just another helper, it's a whole new kind of developer.
To really wrap your head around this, I want you to picture a scenario. Now, it might sound a little like a developer's wildest dream, but believe me, it's becoming very real, very fast. Okay, so just imagine it. You roll up to your desk, open your laptop, ready to fight that backlog of just awful bugs. You know the ones. A broken UI element, a super slow database query, some random server error. But instead of your to-do list, you find a done list. Every single bug is fixed, it's tested, it's documented, and there's even a full explanation. So the big question is, who did all the work?
Well, this isn't your offshore team, and it's not some colleague who pulled it all-nighter. This is the work of a totally new class of AI. You might hear it called Project Jitro or Jules inside Google. But what it is an autonomous agent that doesn't just suggest code, it completes the entire task from start to finish, all by itself.
So, what's the big deal here? How is this actually different from the tools we're already using today? Well, it's a complete change in the paradigm. It's a massive leap from being a simple assistant to being a true autonomous agent.
Think of it this way. An AI assistant, like GitHub Copilot, it's kind of like a motorized bicycle. Yeah, it helps you go faster, for sure. But you still have to steer every single turn. You're still in control. An AI agent, on the other hand, that's like a full-on level 5 self-driving car. You don't give it turn-by-turn directions. You just give it a destination, like, say, a Jira ticket, and it figures out the entire journey all on its own.
So at its core, an autonomous agent is an asynchronous AI. What it does is clone your entire codebase into a safe, secure environment. It understands the project's high-level goals, and then it just works in the background to fix bugs or build out features, all without you having to guide its every move. Now, this might sound like straight-up magic, but it's not. There's a really clear, methodical process behind it. So let's break down exactly how these agents turn a simple problem description into finished working code. The engine that makes all this possible are these huge new models, like Google's Gemini, which have these enormous context windows. We're talking up to 2 million tokens. To put that in perspective, that's like reading the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy a couple of times over. This isn't just about having a big memory. It's about having a deep, comprehensive understanding of your entire project. So it all comes together in a workflow you could call the Jira to PR pipeline. First up is what I like to call the context heist. This is where the AI basically learns your project inside and out. Second, it runs its code in a secure sandbox to test its own work. And third, and this is the incredible part, it enters a self-healing loop. So if a test fails, it reads the error, it understands why it failed, and then it tries a whole new approach, iterating dozens of times a minute. Finally, once all the tests pass, it submits a perfect pull request, explaining exactly what it did in plain English. Okay, the tech is really cool, but beyond the technology, the economic implications here are just staggering. The reason this is getting so much attention is because it fundamentally rewires the entire cost structure of building software.
Here's where the disruption becomes completely undeniable. When you factor in salary, benefits, time, all of it, a moderately complex bug can cost a company around $400 for a human engineer to track down and fix. That same exact bug, fixed by an autonomous agent using just API calls and compute time, costs about $2.
Let that sink in for a second. We're talking about a potential cost reduction of 99.5% for a huge category of software development work. This isn't just some minor optimization. It's a complete economic reset.
But hey, this isn't just about saving money. When you slash costs like that, you unlock incredible speed. Teams can ship features way, way faster. And your human engineers, they're finally freed from all that tedious work. They can stop squashing minor bugs and updating dependencies and actually focus on the big picture: system architecture, security, and building the next major product. So this, of course, leads to the most important question of all. What does this mean for the human software engineer? Does the job just disappear? Well, the answer is no, but it is about to change dramatically.
This is the question on literally everyone's mind. And the answer isn't a simple yes or no. It's an evolution. The skills that are super valuable today might not be the ones that matter the most tomorrow.
The best way I've heard it described is a shift from being a bricklayer to being an architect.
The bricklayer, they lay every single brick by hand. The architect designs the blueprint, makes sure the structure is sound, and oversees the entire project. In this new world, the developer's job moves from writing every single line of code to reviewing AI-generated logic, ensuring security and compliance, and basically managing a team of AI agents to execute a strategic vision.
And this gives rise to an entirely new role, the 100x manager. This is the person who can effectively direct and leverage a whole swarm of AI agents, achieving a level of productivity that was, well, previously just unimaginable. They aren't just managing people anymore, they're managing intelligent systems.
So the takeaway here is pretty clear. The era of the simple AI code assistant is ending. The era of the autonomous developer has truly arrived. And this technology isn't just a prototype anymore. It's becoming a product. The only question left is, are you ready to stop writing every line of code and start managing the machine?